Alright, into customs, and I had a build in mind for this video, which I ended up having to compromise quite significantly on. Originally what I wanted to do was have multiple rhinos with Fig. I mean, we've done all dolphins with Fig, but I thought it would be funny to see a couple of rhinos both trigger a chain reaction at the start of battle at the same time. The problem is that customs is pretty horrendous at the moment, but also, only having 2 or 3 Fig snipes probably isn't going to be enough to get 2 kills, especially once you get past, turn 8, 9, 10. Then even backline units tend to have huge stats at that point, and unless you have multiple snipes on top of the Figs, you're really unlikely to snipe anything. Now we can improve our odds a little bit with some of the late game pets like Wolverine, and at time of recording, the test server has actually removed Wolverine's current ability, which is pretty disappointing to see because it's one of the most versatile pets in customs, I guess in weeklies as well. It just enables so many different things. In fact, here's an opposing team with a Flycatcher. Flycatcher in customs is pretty horrible without Pineapple or Wolverine. And actually, Pineapple has been changed as well. So fingers crossed some of these changes don't make it to the live server. But if they do, I think some of these teams are really going to have a hard time getting anything going unless the scaling options get toned down. So yeah, originally I wanted to have multiple rhinos, but we're taking that off the table. I'm just going to have a single rhino, and then we're going to try and pack the team with as many support pets as possible. And the bat is one of them, so if we can weaken some of the opposing units before the rhino triggers the Fig, then we have a higher chance of actually sniping something. And actually here, look at this crazy shop I got. Double pangolin, puppy and flying squirrel, so all 3 of the pets that I was looking to hit. We are going to try and get the puppy to level 2 before we sell it, and the flying squirrel as well. And that means we can then switch to using the toilet paper, so we'll have double weakness on the first 2 units, and then 2 or more extra applications of weakness from the bat. And we roll another flying squirrel plus puppy, so we're getting all the luck that we need. And I really did feel like I needed pretty good luck to get this going. There were some games where I had incredible high rolls early, and yet still got absolutely demolished at the end, because every team was just behemoth monkey, behemoth poodle. And I felt like I just didn't have space in the team to also try and get skunk involved. Also, a single skunk doesn't tend to do a whole lot against most of these all-scalar teams. You can, of course, use Kraken, but Kraken seems to be in every video these days, and so I wanted to go for something a bit different. So I think I'll just run a 4 squad here in order to buy the Fig. And I think on the test server, Rhino's starting stats have been toned down a little, which I think is fair enough. It did have a bit of a power creep over time. It was one of the worst units in Pack 1 for a long time, and so it did tend to get a little bit overbuffed. That was a strange opponent there that had the level 3 4/4 kangaroo. Not exactly sure how they managed to get that. Maybe a stoat cell? Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas how they ended up getting that kangaroo at 4/4. So we freeze the crow and the puppy here. I think I am actually going to spend the chocolate getting the puppy to 1.5 so I can then immediately trigger the level 2 toy. I've certainly made that mistake many times in the past where you buy the puppy first instead of the chocolate, but hopefully I get it right this time. I think the Rhino did get a trigger there, but it just couldn't result in a chain reaction because it was only level 1, even though it was targeting a tier 1 unit. So we buy sell the crow, and I almost make the mistake and then realize at the last second. So now we can enable the toilet paper, and that means the puppy can now be removed from the team. I had a lot of runs that fizzled out because I kept rolling for puppy or for waffle. And so having the flying squirrel just saves me that bother. And I think in the end here, because of Nurikabe's ability, it ends up being a tie. All these ties in the early late game feel really painful because you know that more and more huge teams are coming, and you're just not going to be able to beat most of them. So we are looking for one other pet here, and I think I am going to risk playing the duplicate. I've faced so many Axandal Hound teams that have tanked runs in the late game, But I felt at this point I was willing to risk it with 3 hearts. We also find a chocolate so we can get the Rhino leveled up. We do get the Rhino trigger, but again the damage at level 1 isn't enough. And we get another mini chain reaction, but thankfully the rest of their squad wasn't strong enough. Now, I think here, yeah, we'll level the Rhino and then hope to hit one of the units that we were looking for. We don't find it. Maybe you can take a guess what it's going to be. I think here I will take this eggplant. That's mainly to try and counter... There are a lot of teams that play one big unit at the front with something behind like Snake. Here's an opposing Rhino team, so actually we're going to move the Peacock in front and then give it enough attack to kill the Rhino because of the Rhino snipe. But it's okay. Actually, they had Bat as well, so a Kindred Spirit there. So turn 12, we're looking for Manticore, and there it is. So we also find a Crow. I think I'll buy-sell that. Now this team is super fragile. You know, I think if the Manticore gets sniped, then it's going to be removed before the Rhino ability triggers. So we wouldn't get the benefit from it, I think. I could be wrong. Manticore is one of those units that I've hardly used at all. But we luckily get matched with this kind of odd team with the great one that isn't inside a Beluga. So credit to that player for not doing the same thing as everyone else. We do get their Manticore to level 2, so I think that means weakness is now adding 9 damage instead of just 3. Now the Bat here does have lower attack than the Rhino. Ideally it would have higher attack so that gives the Rhino a better chance of instant killing something with the Fig hit. But luckily this team has a level 1 Monkey. Both times the Rhino triggers its snipe, it's not going to be able to... Actually, I guess it triggered 3 times there, but each time the chain reaction was denied because the stats were just so high. So 9 wins, and I think here I'll just go straight for the level 3 Manticore. Maybe it would be better to level the Wolverine, but yeah, I move the Manticore forward, worried about crocodiles. And it's 50-50 Chupacabra, so it looks like an instant loss. I actually faced this team a ton of times. But we actually remove the Cobra with the Eggplant. Eggplant saving a weak team yet again. And there we go. Manticore level 3 ribbon as well. So I do have one bonus clip for this, which doesn't have anything to do with the actual team because I didn't have a Rhino yet. But I've never seen this before, where the Unicorn double heals the same unit because the Vampire Bat triggers the Toad a second time. Kind of funny to see that. I guess you didn't used to see it with old Vampire Bat because the Vampire Bats were just killing everything before the Unicorn could heal it.